Hi, I'm Mirtha Michelle Castro Marmon, and for Hispanic Heritage Month, I'd love to share some of my biggest inspirations in my career and in my life as a writer. I would have to say that I fell in love with poetry in Spanish at the age of 13, and the first person that I fell in love with, the first poet, was Pablo Neruda. I think that when I first read a Neruda poem, I completely fell in love. I reread it so many times because it was so touching but so passionate. I think that's the best word to describe Neruda. His passion, whether it was his passion for a lover or his passion for his country, he wrote passionately. And I've always related to that. The first poem I ever read of his was "Tonight I Can Write," and I still think of this poem at times in my life. Just comes to me at random times, but it was such a passionate poem. It was in his first collection, 20 poems and a desperate song. It actually is also included in this book, Selected Poems by Neruda, and it's a beautiful poem. It's depicting lost love. I find that I have also written a lot about lost love, so I love reading Neruda. Another poet and writer that I have admired is Federico Garcia Lorca. Lorca, another passionate writer. And what I love about Lorca is that he faced tumultuous circumstances in his life because of his sexual preferences, and it was in a very difficult time in Spain in which he wasn't allowed to be who he was, and to the point that it even brought him his death. But his work is so passionate and depicting not just the times, but depicting unrequited love, depicting lost love, depicting forbidden love, and it's just extremely passionate. I love it. I just love Spanish poetry. It's so much passion. It's like our culture is so passionate, and I'm obsessed with it. Another poet that I have loved to read. This one, not too many people have heard of him internationally. He's very known in Spain, but his work is gentle. It's somewhat even innocent, beautiful. His name was Gustavo Adolfo Becker, and he lived in the 1800s, and he's a true romantic poet. When I think of romance, I think of Becker. And I would say those are my top 3 inspirations when it comes to Spanish poetry. They've all inspired me throughout my career, throughout my life. And I would say that the biggest influence has been that they've caused me to live passionately, to be who I am, to express myself passionately, and it's the beautiful thing about poetry.